Originally, I thought it was a joke, and my coach at the gym handed us a list of colleges that he thought would be a good fit for us, gymnastics-wise and school-wise. And at the very bottom of the list, I was kind of just going through and emailing all the college coaches, and I saw Yale at the bottom of my list, and I started laughing to myself, thinking okay, that's a complete joke, that's never gonna happen. And I was just like, oh, what the heck, I might as well send something. So I ended up sending a few gymnastics videos and telling them my coaches and everything, and about a week later, I was at Dairy Queen with a few of my friends, and I get an email back from the coach, and I started freaking out, and I was like, wait, oh my god, is this real life? And so then I started emailing him back and forth throughout the season and everything, and then I got invited to an unofficial visit as a junior, which was last year. And as soon as I went, the campus is what I was just like, wow, this is awesome. So yeah, so that's how I got started. It's been a really long process. It's been a lot longer than regular athletes who decide to kind of commit whenever. For gymnastics, you're supposed to commit when you're a freshman or a sophomore. And yeah, it's very ridiculous because half the time you don't really know what you want to do in life at that point. I knew I always wanted to go to college, for academics. So if I ended up not doing gymnastics in college, it wasn't going to be absolutely devastating because I've always focused on academics rather than gymnastics. And so when Yale came into contact with me, I kind of waited up until about junior year because I felt like I still didn't find the right school that fit me. And so junior year, when Yale came into contact with me, I was like, well, that's the best place I could go academically. So I followed through with that, and the process for an Ivy League is a lot different than a regular D1 college, because Ivy League is D1, but it's just you have to get into the school on your own first, rather than just kind of committing and then you just automatically get in. So I went through an academic pre-read, and basically what it is you fill out, you send them your transcript and your resume and your essays. They hand you an application kind of ahead of time, a mini application, I guess, and you fill it out, you write a few essays and everything, and basically what the coach does is all the girls send in their stuff and he puts it in a file. He gives the file to the admissions board, and midsummer they read it and then they give the coach a red light or a green light. And if you get a green light, that means you'll have no problem getting in. And then if the academic board gives the coach a red light, that basically means stop recruiting this athlete, there's no way they're gonna get in. I was flying back from Colorado, and I ran into the coach at the airport. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then that's when he told me that I got a green light and everything. So I was really excited. And then after pre-reads, you start senior year, and beginning of senior year, you send your senior schedule, and then they approve it, or they say whether you need to add or drop a class. So it's certain classes they want you to take just to be familiar with before your freshman year. And so they double check that, and then the process for gymnastics it's not really as long, I guess. It's basically competing through season, staying healthy, staying consistent, trying to make nationals, and then they watch you compete at nationals. You just send videos in, updated videos of you doing routines and stuff. It's not as a hard process as the academic process. It's definitely not as stressful. Basically, beginning of senior year, the coach schedules phone calls with you to tell you where you are in his ranking and what chances you have at him giving you, it's called a letter of support. And so all athletes get that from coaches, because what they do with athletes is they understand it's hard to be a student athlete and have as high as grades as the people who get in strictly based on grades. So they do lower the test scores, and they give a bit of leniency to the athletes, thank goodness. But basically, what happens is the coach kind of helps us along the way. He checks our grades usually every 2 weeks. He basically told us where we are in the lineup, and invited us back for official visits, and he had 2 official visits. The first official visit was the top 5 girls, and then the next official visit was kind of his last 3. Like if one of the top 5 girls either dropped out or chose a different school, one of the other 3 girls would kind of hop in, and that's actually what happened. Most of the girls that I was with on my unofficial were on the official. We spent 2 nights with the girls in the dorms. You really got to feel for like the team and the school and the classes and stuff, and it was really great. And then not even a day later, I was sitting in AP Literature and Mrs. Keys, and I get like, an email from him asking for my official commitment, and he kind of like CC'd both my parents on it and stuff. And so immediately both my parents texted me, and they're like, "Yay!" Like they're like so excited. And so that night I called him, and then he read through like all the official documents or whatever, and like I said yes, and then but then I had to go through an interview. So again, I'm not gonna really fly out there just for an interview, and so I did a Skype interview, and it was good. The lady was really nice. It was very laid back. I was like extremely nervous, but it was very laid back. So that went well, and then she put in her letter of support as well. So basically, the interview wasn't really to see like if see like my grades and stuff. It was just, am I a right fit for the school, and just to get to know my personality and whatnot, so she can write a letter about me and put it in my file so the academic board can read it again, which is exactly what the coach did. Every single time he would call, he wouldn't really ask about gymnastics, he would ask about like my job or like what do I do over the summer, and just to get a feel for who I am. So he's able to write the letter of support. The coach calls my coaches just to check in to see if I'm keeping up like with like leadership abilities and like staying positive in the gym and that sort of thing. Just qualities about myself, I guess. And then after the interview, he said within a week I should be getting what they call a likely letter. And this isn't like normal colleges. No, basically what it is it says, congratulations, like you've been accepted, but you have to keep up. Like you have to keep up with everything. So like at the end of the letter it's like, welcome to the Bulldog family and like Yale family or whatever. But it does say like, we're gonna check your mid-quarter grades, we're gonna check your end of the year grades, and like you can't slip up. Like just because you think you're in doesn't mean that you can start failing your classes. And then we had a signing party at my gym, and that was super fun because me and my 2 teammates that I've like grown up with, we've like dreamed of this our entire life, like sitting at a table and like signing and everything, and it was so awesome. It was like a dream come true for sure. And then and then after that process, it was, now all it's been is kind of filling out scholarship stuff. So it was really rough. I took an official visit at Air Force Academy as well, and it really came down to Yale and the Air Force Academy. I actually, like the day before signing, like signing was on a Wednesday, and literally Tuesday night, I sat there with like both letters, like letters of intent, like sitting in front of me. I literally had the Air Force one and the Yale one, and like I still didn't know what to do. It was just so hard. Like comparing anything, everything was the same. I was like, the academics are just as hard either place. I'm gonna be challenged either way. I like both teams. I like both coaches. I was like, the only thing that it came down to was being a cadet or being a student, and I just know that I've always wanted to like be a student and just kind of go to like a coffee shop and do my homework or something, and just stuff that I wouldn't be able to do at the academy. So I'm happy with my decision, and no regrets, no going back.